You're watching Oilers Nation every day with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
Sebastian Kosa? Hit it. Woo! I thought you'd know my cues by now, Aaron. I ended the sentence. I never say the lead.
Let's get into it.
Let's
hit it. Also worked as well. That also worked.
Just get it going. Welcome into Oilers Nation every day. Show is a presentation of Bet365. You can download the app today because it's never ordinary at Bet365. You can use the code NATION. Must be 19 years or older. Please play responsibly. Also, welcome into the Sports Closet studio, Aaron. You've been here for a while, but did you know from jerseys to hats to the legendary foam finger, you can find it all at the Sports Closet. Don't use that code. It's over. But there you go. Check out the Sports Closet. Got 3 locations or more. Sherwood Park Mall, St. Albert Center, Kingsway Mall. Again, different location at Kingsway Mall now. Temporary location. But actually, we have a fairly busy show today. Believe it or not, folks.
We actually have things to talk about.
We have Oilers news. Brett is watching the show, I'm assuming. He pulled me into a room yesterday and was like, hey, man, you got to talk about the Oilers on the show tomorrow. I need some clips. So I got it for you, Brad. And luckily, the Oilers were listening to you as well, because I give you a little tease of what we got going on here. More goalie conversation. Bakersfield signed 4 players. 2 of them we know a fairly decent amount about, especially one of them that played his junior hockey in Edmonton. The other one, his dad played for the Oilers. An equipment issue with a former Oiler who now plays in Europe.
All kinds of issues for
Crazy
this former
issues.
player.
Crazy stuff. We'll get into that. Hlinka Gretzky's going on. Obviously, Gretzky played for the Oilers. You guys may know that one. His brother is a coach, a manager here still, Keith. So we'll talk about Hlinka Gretzky. Top 5 storylines heading into the season. Now, Aaron and I didn't tell each other what we were going to do until I came into the office, and Aaron read me his 5, and they were essentially the same 5, just in a different order. And crazy news in the music world, which we'll get into and what's trending, presented by Oodle Noodle. But first of all, let's bring in Aaron quickly.
Hello, friends. How we doing? It's a lovely Tuesday afternoon. Still Tyler. No, I'm still no Tyler here. I saw he was hitting the links in Hawaii yesterday on his Instagram story. Got a little bit jealous, a little angry about that. Also in the news, the Edmonton Riverhawks are playing a huge baseball game tonight, and everybody should be heading down to Remax Field. It's very weird because they play a 3-game set, and then this one's just 1 game, winner take all, and then you move on to the final game, which is 1 game take all.
I don't really get that.
Either do I. But these college kids all tend to have to leave right now, so maybe that has to do something with it.
But you could just do like game 1.
Yeah.
Like the first round is 1 game. Next round is 3. Next round is 3. Whatever. Maybe it's a travel thing. We're
not going to mess with a good thing because it's been going very well for the Hawks this year.
Who do they play? Do you know?
I already forget. But you can still get your tickets. Yeah, and they're usually a wagon.
That's down in Washington, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, I do believe.
There's a lot of places in this league where I've never heard of them before, and I just look them up, and they're like, oh, this is also in Washington State.
Absolutely. I think Washington. It's BC, Alberta, Washington, and Oregon. Is that a state?
No,
is
Oregon,
that where Portland is?
Oregon is in Washington.
All right, then.
So there you go. There's just BC, Alberta, and
a little bit of geography here for you. If they had flags, maybe Liam could tell me a little bit better. I am
don't
curious
know
what everyone's
flags.
storylines are going to be in here.
Yeah, there's a few of them already. We put it in there in the Odd Company YouTube chat. You can go check out Odd Company tonight. Maybe before the Riverhawks game, you go check out Odd Company. One downtown. There's also one in the Ritchie location, which isn't too far. Both of them, Remax Field is probably right in the middle.
Yeah,
I would think.
As a man who knows how to pregame, I highly recommend going to Odd Company before a Hawks game.
Again, they have great pizza down there as well, and you can grab a great beer, Nation Beer Lager. It's fantastic. A fantastic Mexican lager. What more could you want? Also, too, if you get one, check out the can. There's a lot of little hidden messages on there. I don't know if we'll update it one day with like more hidden messages, but if you're gonna add
I
one,
want Cup here on there eventually. Yeah, that's what I want on there.
Cup here, maybe
it actually has to happen.
Maybe when
first.
they win.
Yeah.
So I asked in the Odd Company YouTube chat, what are your top storylines heading into the season? Lance Kane, the leader of Cup Year, Says, top storyline will always be goaltending. Isaac said, probably depth. Want to see how it goes for the Oilers, especially on the wing. Rusty, the reckless optimist, said, my number one storyline is how fast can Draisaitl hit 1,000 points. He's only 44 away. That's not something I really thought about, to be honest. Another one here from Westside. Shane, will Naba play the kids? I want to see the coach give Howard and Savoy some rope. Don't bench them every time they make a mistake. Young guys gotta learn. I would agree. I would agree.
We've seen some hesitancy in Nobby's past to do just that.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, and I know it's funny, we always consider like Noah Philp like a young player. He's not. He's an inexperienced player. He's 27. He's similar to, it's funny, I've never thought about this in any way or form before, but like, remember when Mark Arcabello came up, but he was like 25? Like, he wasn't young. He just did so well in the American League that he deserved to come up and play some NHL games, and was a pretty decent Oiler for what he was. How many games did he end up playing for the Oilers? I did not think we would get to Mark Arcabello today.
That's August for you, brother.
Played one game the one season, 41 the next, 36, and then, of course, they traded him to Nashville for, you remember, Aaron?
No, I do not.
Derek Roy.
Oh, the Nail Yakupov whisper.
Nail Yakupov whisper. He actually still playing over in Europe. He plays for Lugano in Switzerland.
Derek Roy is still playing hockey?
No, sorry, Arcabello.
Okay.
I don't think Derek Roy is
like,
playing
what?
anymore. Yeah, Mark Arcabello.
Yeah, he's on Nail Yakupov's wing.
Yeah, 139 games played, 53 points, 24 goals. There you go, Mark Arcabello. Is
I
that
like
Noah Philp?
fighting Amish here. My top storyline is Leon going to start ripping darts between periods, and will they make him smoke outside? All-time photo from the wedding.
Start ripping dirt?
Continue ripping darts.
I don't know if Leon Draisaitl rips darts. I'm assuming he was just having a wedding cigarette.
Vacation darts do not count.
No,
Everybody
they do
knows
not.
that.
Everybody knows that. It's a very common rule. All right, Aaron, I want to do
Let's do some news first.
No, I want to do the show for giant question first because we're kind of on the topic, and then we can do the news after, because then I'll lead nicely into everything else. So, Sherwood Ford giant question, obviously brought to you by Sherwood Ford. Hockey fans helping hockey fans. Free valet service for all Oilers fans. Never visit the dealership again for a car service. You can get an exclusive swag package with every Nation Valet service. Booked online. You just got to put Oilers Nation Valet in the comments, and you also get thrown into a draw when you do that as well. You can book online at sherwoodford.ca/Nation Valet service. Oilers Nation fans, your hockey destination is Sherwood Ford.
Bum,
Nice.
bum, bum.
The perfect
Shout
one.
out Giant Mike.
Shout out Giant Mike. Shout out David.
Shout out my dogs at the crib.
Shout out Sherbucks. Okay. Top 5 storylines. How do we want to do this, Aaron? Because we both have 5.
I think we start at 5 and then we make our way up to the very top.
Okay. So
I moved some things around from when I kind of told you mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have an honorable mention? You mentioned one before.
So I got an honorable mention in here. I guess you could make it 6, but this is top 5 list. But I don't want to get into too much detail about it because Brett has already cut a lot of clips about Vasily Podkolzin already this summer. But I think Pods' development, we've joked about it, made comments, the Zach Hyman light type thing. Who knows? Last year he had 8 goals, 24 points, was healthy all year. As long as the guy continues to move up skyward,
we're good.
We're in a good spot here. And I also saw that he was training with like UFC fighters recently. So I do hope he's ripping 1,000 pucks a day into a washer and or dryer. But I will take some fighting as well, because when he knocked out Jeremy Lazone, that shit was pretty tight.
I hope he's in Dagestan and he's just wrestling.
Wrestling bears. He's wrestling bears.
Wrestling bears, training with Habib and Makachev, and all he's doing is
These were some of the guys. I don't know who any of these guys are.
No, I mean,
but I would not fuck with them if that was me. So.
Certainly not. Certainly not. But I like that one. Obviously, Podkolzin. Low expectations, but what would the word be? Like, people were very excited when he came here. Obviously, the 10th overall pick, and however long ago that was. He's still fairly young. Was he 22, 23, something like that? Didn't get a fair shake in Vancouver. I think everyone was a bit shocked that it didn't work out with Rick Tocchet there, but it just shows how overrated of a coach Rick Tocchet is. Vasily Podkolzin has come in, like Westside Shane said, is I hope the young players can get a long rope and be given a good opportunity. I think Podkolzin was given that last year.
Pods was given one, but the way we know Nobby works is tends to be like in the Jeff Skinner situation. You have to be committed defensively for me to give you that top 6 shot. Pods was that for 82 games.
Yeah, and then throughout the playoffs, he was consistent. And I know it didn't matter, but like he was the only guy who scored in Game 6. It was super late, and again, very irrelevant goal. But like he kept going, and that was kind of his thing, right? Like he had an engine, and he didn't stop. What's the saying? Russian train don't stop for no one, or something like that. Mm-hmm. He didn't stop. We all love. We saw
glimpses too. I remember he had a couple just like on the rush, walking the slot, said, "Hey, I'm gonna rip this puck," and he went top shelf. You get those little glimpses. Yeah. You get those little glimpses that keep you fired up.
Just quickly, Squishy for breakfast. Is Kane coming back to the Oil? No, he is not coming back. He just lives in Edmonton still. Anyway.
Dude, he was at the bare knuckle fighting this weekend. I know. I didn't know there was bare knuckle fighting going on. I would have went to that.
I was at the River Cree. Actually, when the UFC was in Edmonton, Evander Kane was like the only athlete there.
Because him and Dana are boys, I think.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I mean, UFC, if you can get front row tickets to UFC, I would do it too. Mm-hmm. Okay, number 5 on my list. I'm going to say the health of the older players. And I think you have this one just a little bit higher than I do, Aaron, not to spoil your list. But obviously there was a scare in the playoffs. Matthias Ekholm did not start the first round, any of the rounds, until the Stanley Cup final. He came in late, obviously, to the Western Conference Finals, did well, and then his play just kind of dipped gradually as the games went on and got more and more difficult. Zach Hyman, obviously, a significant injury against Dallas, misses a ton of time. He's probably going to miss the start of the season. Not an older player, but like Trent Frederick, high ankle sprain. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had, a broken hand. Like, there's a lot of guys when you go down the list of like, oh, they're older. And I know Frederick is only 27, so not necessarily within that group, just someone who had a lingering injury. But like, those 3 in particular, it's like, how are they going to come back and kick off the season? Because to expect all 3 of them to get back to the level that they're capable of I think is unrealistic. I think they'll all be fine, but I think the expectations should drop a little bit for a few of them. Like Zach Hyman, like, is he able to get back to even 30 goals? Depending on how much time he missed. Like Ekholm, can he log top 2 minutes continuously? Like, is that a position that Jake Wallman eventually takes over? As Nugent Hopkins, does he just become your 3rd-line center? I'm not as worried as Nuge as like the other 2 guys. Hand injuries happen fairly often, but it's just the fact of Hyman's going to miss so much time, and you miss that time, but then you also essentially takes you about a week or 2 to get going again, maybe even a little bit.
I'd argue even more than that. Yeah.
Even more, yeah. Maybe that's just an optimistic look. So that's my storyline. My 5th one, I think, again, they'll probably be okay, but it's something I'm going to watch for, is the health of the older players.
Health concerns 100%. I'll kind of add on one. That is obviously a part of my top 5 storylines. My 5th one that I had, it's not as important, but it's something that I will be monitoring, especially us here, as we have to analyze this team every single day. But can Connor McDavid take back the Hart Memorial Trophy? Can he take back the MVP? It's now been 2 years without winning it. And I get this is a very first world champagne problem here, but it was Connor Hellebuck last year, Nathan McKinnon the year previous. And I believe when I looked through, so McDavid's numbers the last 3 years, 153 points, 132 points, 100 points. It also goes from 82 games to 76 games to 67 games. So it is on a little bit of a downward trajectory. I would never bet against Connor McDavid. I'm banking on those numbers to go back up. But can he reclaim his rightful throne at the top of the NHL? He never should have left, but that's my 5th storyline.
It is an interesting one because it's just assumed that it'll always be great.
And he is. And like 100 points in 67 games is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But we know that he didn't win the MVP. He got beat out by a goaltender.
Yeah. So, and even Leon. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He should have won it, So, it'll be interesting to see. It felt like McDavid had a milestone to hit in every one of the last 3 seasons. You look back to his 153-point season. Okay, could he hit 60 goals? Could he hit 50 goals? The next one. Can he get 100 assists? This next one. When will he get his 1,000th game? You know what I mean? Like, when does that happen? It's like, and I know 1,000 is just kind of something that just happens when you're a player, and you don't want to, 1,000 points, sorry, not 1,000th game. What is it this year? Is it to try and get back and win the MVP again? Is it to score 40 goals again, back to 50 goals? Like, he's an
just
interesting
to stay
cat.
healthy
Or
and get
is-
to the NHL playoffs.
which I think that's probably
That's
it.
probably priority number one. Should be.
But I would like to see him just absolutely dominate the league again.
Just a little reminder that, hey, I'm still here and I'm still the GOAT.
And I'm still better than all of you.
Yeah.
It's by a large margin. Yeah, like, this is going to sound very rude, but, like, Leon Draisaitl should never be an MVP candidate with McDavid on the team. And I don't mean that to be offensive to Leon, because he is an amazing player and should have won the MVP, but, like, Connor McDavid's the best player in the world, and we all know it. Anyway, number 4 for me, it's what West Side Shane said, is the youth movement. Howard and Savoy obviously coming into the team. Even, like, let's just throw Ty Emberson into this conversation as a younger player. Noah Philp, like, there's a bit of more inexperience, I guess you could say, in the lineup now. How is it managed? How is it replaced at the deadline? Which one of them isn't good enough and needs to have a top 6 forward come in or something? Because I do think that'll happen, and that's not a problem. It just means that Ike Howard or Matthew Savoy will just play on the third line. And I think it's something to monitor throughout the year. I'm very excited for both players. I have higher expectations for Savoy than Howard, just because I think Savoy is a better prospect than Howard ever has been. I think Howard is going to be a great player for the Oilers, and probably will have a 30-goal season at some point throughout his career, hopefully in Edmonton for a long time. But I'm more excited for Savoy, and I do think, similar to Podkolzin, like we spoke about, like, you want to talk about work ethic, you're getting that from Matthew Savoy. And I think a lot of people, when he came up and played for the Oilers last season, people took it very much out of context of, like, why he was taken out of the lineup. It wasn't because he was playing bad. It's because the environment was terrible. The team was so bad. It was their worst stretch of the year. The worst stretch in...
That was post-Four Nations, correct?
Post-Four Nations.
Yeah.
They couldn't score a goal and then
couldn't
win
do
a
anything.
game. So even Knobloch came out and said it wasn't based off his performances. It was based off, like, the culture and environment was just not where it needed to be, and they didn't want to have him infected by it. He'll come out this year and he'll be great. I think people are going to love what Savoy brings to this team. He's an amazing player.
Without a doubt, 100%. And last year in those 4 games that he played, I mean, I get that you could, bigger picture, read the headline, oh, he was taken out and he only got to play 4 games. If you watch those games,
He was great.
he was very good
Yeah.
on Leon Draisaitl's wing. We all think of the one play he made behind the net. I want to say against Philly it was.
First game.
Yeah, where he wins the battle behind the net, shoulder checks. What do? Look for 29 out there. Delivers the puck right out front. Bing, bang, back of the net. That's just a little glimpse. And you're like, oh, this guy can play. He's a little guy, but he can still battle in there. That's also on my list. Number 4 for me for storylines is just regular season fatigue. Regular season fatigue. Let me try that again. I don't know if you guys know, but the Edmonton Oilers tend to start regular seasons a little bit slow from time to time. Is it justified when you play all the way to Game 7 of the Cup Final, you start slowly? Some excuse years previous, who knows? Either way, I get the human nature, especially after 2 years in a row, climbing the mountaintop only to fall all the way back down. But it's professional sports. You got to dust yourself off and try to climb that ladder once again. And I just hope the Oilers start quicker, obviously. I mean, I'll take obvious statements for 1,000, but I think even they know after last season and whatnot, hey, can't take that for granted. But it is only human nature, and 82 games is a long-ass time to have to get back to the playoffs.
100%. The season is so much longer when you don't want to be there.
As a man who does pre- and post-game, and I love being there and doing pre- and post-game, I can only imagine playing in those games, let alone talking about them. It's nuts.
Number 3. Now, I think my top 3, I would put in highly, like, these are huge storylines for the Oilers next season. I think the other 2, like, we're all curious about it, but it's not, like, priority number 1. I think these next 3 could all be number 1. But now number 3, a lot of people would have it number 1, but I don't think it's necessary here, is goaltending. Mm-hmm. The goaltending needs to be better. Stuart Skinner last season was very good against Vegas and Dallas and had a couple of moments against Florida, especially in the first couple of games. It fell apart, but, like, people forget in Game 4 against Florida, he was easily their best player in the first period. They just had 17 shots on goal, and the third one was a pass directly to the slot. It's like not many goalies would have saved that. Bobrovsky also ended up being the goalie that lost that game for them as well. So he needs to be better. An 896 is not good enough on a team like the Edmonton Oilers. I understand there's the whole thing of like, well, maybe they don't allow as many shots as other teams. I'm just going to believe it. You guys all know it. You guys, some of you hate it. But it is what it is. He's the goalie. He still has another year or two on his deal, whatever it is. I think it's one more year, isn't it? 2.6, if I'm not mistaken. New goalie coach. What does that do for the goalies? Like, how does that help them? I think Skinner is due for a bit of a bounce back here because I think we all believe he has got the ability to do it. He just needs to show it consistently enough, especially, too, something we talked about last year, against good teams. Like, in the regular season, like, the Oilers didn't beat that many good teams when Skinner was in goal. I guess I should reword that. They didn't beat good teams because of Stuart Skinner. They beat good teams, of course, but, like, you think of the game last year, we talked about it a little bit on that stretch where they were terrible, but they beat Carolina. And Calvin Pickett came in and gave them a fantastic game. They need that a lot more from Stuart Skinner. Another thing, too, is a contract year for him. Maybe that'll help him. Calvin Pickett, obviously, I think he was a good backup for them. 900 save percentage, 2.71 goals against, 22 wins, 36 games played. Are they going to get that from Pickett again? I'm not sure. Skinner needs to be the one that's like, leave no question. You're the goalie. Pickett doesn't need to come in the playoffs again, hopefully next season. Maybe they just go get Kosa. But for right now, the duo that they have can be better and should be better.
This is your time, Stu. Once again, we believe in Stu. Call us truthers, whatever you want to say it. We've seen great seasons from Stu. Good seasons.
Yeah.
And then it's fallen off here a little bit. We've seen NHL goaltenders have ups and downs. It's a matter of you're now 26, will be turning 27. Mm-hmm. This is where you start to get to the age here of where you got to find it. However, for the Oilers, I simply think my bet on Bet365 of who starts game one for the Edmonton Oilers, Stuart Skinner, was minus 110. The easiest bet I think I'll ever place. Knock on wood on that one, but I'll leave it for me. It's on my rankings. It's in a different spot.
Yeah.
But it sure is on there. For me, number 3, adding on to yours, Matt Savoy and Ike Howard development. You need to bring in the youth movement. We've talked about this a lot. You need to bring in speed. I also think that a guy like Ike Howard, the Iceman, if you will, self-proclaimed Iceman, anyone who's self-proclaiming and calling himself that, I'm in on that. But you hope he brings some of that youthful energy. We always talk about it. When Dylan Holloway was here, he was a jokester in the room. Ryan McLeod was part of that in the room. Can you make Connor and Leon smile a little bit from time to time? And then to add on to Matt Savoy and the things you mentioned, he looked good in his limited sample size he had last year with the Oilers. The dream for me is to attach him to Leon Draisaitl's wing. Maybe pair him with Pods. Pods, the bulldozer, clean the way. Let Leon and Savoy kind of play with their skill there. But those two guys are going to be massive. We talk about it all the time. If you're going to pay Connor, Leon, Bouchard, Nursey, you need to find producing cheap contracts, and there's no better than Matt Savoy, a guy you traded McLeod for, a serious asset, and then Ike Howard, who just won the Hobie Baker. Those two, I don't want to put as much pressure on them as I know the fan base is going to. Mm-hmm. But boys, welcome to Edmonton, and you're in it now, so let's ride.
All aboard. My number, what are we at here? 2. Connor McDavid's contract. We don't have anything yet. There's not really any speculation of when it's necessarily going to happen, if it's 100% going to happen before the season actually begins. So right now, it's still a huge storyline for the Oilers is when will Connor McDavid sign? How much will he sign for? How long will it be? I do 100% believe it'll get done before the season begins. And we all know, like, Draisaitl got married. They're now on their friend moon. He's on vacation. I think once he gets back in town, or at least back into the time zone in the country, to be fair, whatever it is, time zone country, it'll get done. But right now, for me, it is number 2 on the list.
He's also the biggest takeaway from the friend moon. He's on vacation with the guy that's signed for 8 years right now. Boys, we're going to feel good. Also, I had this thought. I remember Jerry Jones did this once. It was like opening kickoff for the NFL. And right before the game started, he announced Dak Prescott's contract to just take away all the shine right before the season starts. I'd welcome the day of NHL puck drop. Announce me Connor McDavid's here for 8 years. Or 4.
Come out onto the ice. Get his, papers out there. Sign it in the middle.
Announce it right when warm-up's going so all the fans get their phones out as he's out there and just go nuts.
Also, Jimmy Dang, being a fool, how many seasons are these guys going to ride the Stu train? We literally just said he needs to be better.
If it doesn't go well, I think this will be the last year of the Stu train.
If you're going to make a comment, at least make it smart and listen to what we're actually saying. Is a storyline for this season is that Stuart Skinner needs to be better
or get
for
off
the
the pot
Edmonton
time.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And
Okay.
once again, the others hey, I agree. We wanted to look at other options this summer.
There wasn't
I feel like the Edmonton Oilers are pretty set in what they're going to do.
Yes.
And we're just running it back again and going to put on a brave face and let's ride.
Totally.
Ride.
What are you on, number 2?
Number 2 for me was to add on to yours, health concerns, specifically just Zach Hyman and Matthias Ekholm. The Hyman one, I'm concerned less about because we talked about Nuge, right? He also banged up his wrist, hand, whatever.
Like breaking bones is a little different.
Bones heal. All right. Now, Hyman, when he was at his golf tournament or whatever, had the cast on, didn't totally know his own timeline. And then you add in the fact that last season he was not nearly as good or as productive as he was the season previous. But we saw it in the NHL playoffs with some physicality. But he's also an older guy in the league. You're at least justified to maybe worry a little bit about Zach Hyman. I'm not that concerned. The one for me is Matthias Ekholm because he is your top pairing defenseman on the left side, a guy who plays, second power play, but your first PK eats a ton of minutes. Hip injuries are scary. We just saw another fellow Swedish defenseman who had to get hip resurfacing surgery. Shout out John Klingberg. I miss you already. But Ekholm is 35 years old, and he's played, I think I looked it up, 884 career games.
Yeah.
I don't want to put any of that out there, but you hope that he took this summer, really rehabbed hard, and that is a concern, and I think a fair concern. He's also contract year, same thing for him. Who knows what the Oilers do after that? You mentioned Jake Woolman. Could he move up in the depth chart? I don't know. But those two health concerns they're there for me.
There's an interesting comment in the chat, and this is, I never thought about this, and I just kind of looked at it as you were talking there, Aaron. Peter Houston asks, so who has better youth right now, Calgary or Edmonton? Now, your assumption would be, obviously, Calgary, because they want to be young, and they have good young players.
Zari, Wolf,
Matt Coronado.
Yeah, that one. Yep.
They don't have that many other young guys like Zane Parekh, obviously going to be a really good player. He's not on the team. He probably is on the team. I shouldn't say that. I don't think the Oilers are that far behind in the sense of like what Ike Howard and Matthew Savoy could be. But Coronado, Zari played in the NHL, however many games they've had. Dustin Wolf, as Gord said, is so good. He's going to be a great goalie. I actually hope he has another good season because he's really defined the odds of what someone of his stature should be able to do at any level. If you look, he wins everywhere, individual awards and team awards. Interesting question. I would say Calgary, but maybe the edge isn't as much as I thought it was in Calgary's favor.
I would still, I think, lean towards Calgary, but
maybe at the end of the season, it could be interesting.
If a Matt Savoy and an Ike Howard works out, we're sitting here all of a sudden like, okay,
yeah,
we got our youth movement. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Also, Warren Fogle said, I would re-sign Kulak over Ekholm.
Another interesting conversation because one of them is also like 3 years younger than the other.
And on what's the epitome of health in one Brett Kulak? Iron Man, let's go. I don't know. I don't want to live in that world. Let's just all be healthy.
Yeah. Mainlander Tim said, Wolf is greater than all of the Oilers prospects. I think that's probably fair now. Again, the end of the season, I think this is interesting. I would also probably have...
As of right now, without a doubt.
Coronado is probably right up there as well with like just Savoy and Howard as well. I mean, he had 24 goals last season. Mm-hmm. He's no joke. The guy can rip the puck. Number 1 for me. Can they get the job done?
Oh.
Can they finally bring a 6th Stanley Cup back to Edmonton? It's the only objective for the season. We can sit here and talk about like, how are the youth going to play? How's the goalies going to be? Are the guys who are injured going to come back and be just as good? Will McDavid sign? Ultimately, nothing else matters if they win a Stanley Cup. And we kind of saw it very interestingly this season. It was a bad regular season. It was very underwhelming. But they got into the playoffs and they played great. Guys who had played bad all season played great. Arvidsson scored some goals. Skinner scored some goals. Stuart Skinner had multiple shutouts. Calvin Pickard was 7-0. You know,
Evan Bouchard was killing penalties, being a stud.
Evan Bouchard showed us all why he's a fantastic defenseman, and McDavid and Draisaitl did what they did. Unfortunately, they ran into maybe the second best Stanley Cup winning team since 2000. First being the Colorado Avalanche for me. Who the Oilers also lost to. Is this the year? This has to be the number one storyline there.
This is 4 years in a row we've lost the Cup winner.
Oh,
right?
5. Oh.
Florida.
Colorado, Vegas. Year before.
That's it.
That was it. Yeah, sorry.
It.
I was thinking this year. We will finally get
That's
it
tough.
done.
That's tough. Next year. I pivoted off to next year so fast. The Oilers lost Game 6. Probably gave me 20 minutes before I was yelling next year. Ready to do the roller coaster all over again. That, while Liam, you could argue that's a cop-out of a number one on the list.
It's
absolutely fact. You can't argue that. All of these, the entire list leads up to that one. If you're going up the pyramid, that's the goal. I felt like mine was a cop-out, and we already mentioned it. My number one storyline, the Stuart Skinner resurrection, question mark. Can it happen? Will it happen? Who knows? I argued he's 26. He'll be turning 27. This is about the time where you need to find out what you're made of. We've seen him have multiple seasons above 900 before, drop down considerably to 896. He was good in the playoffs throughout the Western Conference after he was pulled. It's just, there's so many stipulations. We've sat here, I know, chat, everybody, the comments, they think that we are the biggest Stuart Skinner apologists in the world. I've seen good from him. I've seen bad from him. I've argued he's been A, Edmonton's only option. Yeah. He's a pretty cheap option. B, and that right about now in a contract year as well, I do believe, right?
Yes.
Shit or get off the pot time here possibly for one Stuart Skinner. I don't want to put that much pressure on him, but it is what it is. The Oilers, we think, looked into getting other goalies this summer.
Still
couldn't find anything. We're right back where we started again, and new goalie coach. Who knows? Maybe Dustin Schwartz was the problem all this time. Maybe the chat was right all along. And if that's the case, here we go. But I think number one for me, it's going to be, it has to be goaltending for this team. It's 2 years in a row. Not necessarily why they lost the Stanley Cup, but I'd just say the Florida Panthers are really damn good at hockey. But if you were able to have a better goaltender, who knows what could have happened.
Who knows? Ryan S. in the chat with a hot take. He says Florida struggles this season.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, they have the same team that won the Stanley Cup. I can't see them struggling.
My number one storyline should be, how do I sabotage the Florida Panthers season?
Yeah, that should be it for all of us.
Let's start brainstorming here a little bit.
Super chat.
Ooh.
All our super chats go to the Ben Stelter Foundation. You can donate anytime throughout the show, and we will read your comment. $5 from Mistaken Mexican. Cup year. Cup year.
Cup year.
There you go.
That felt good.
Oh, another $5 from Northside Norm.
Oh.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Mistaken
birthday.
Mexican. Did not know it was his birthday. Happy birthday, Mistaken Mexican.
Mistaken Mexican, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for all of your donations to the Ben Stelter Foundation this year. How old are you as well? Because you're younger than me.
Mexican?
Yeah, he's younger than me,
guess
right?
he's 28 and a half.
That would be.
Can't be a half.
That would be. Well, we'll move past that. And Mainlander Tim, he got an evacuation alert.
Oh.
So that's not good.
Okay.
My thoughts, love, Mainlander
Why? What
Tim.
is happening?
I don't know. But come
on
over to Edmonton. Let's go for beers.
So entertaining. I'm enjoying watching it on.
Is there a Hawaii evacuation alert?
Really? What is going on?
No. Yeah, 2 weeks ago there was. Let's continue to power through.
Mainlander Tim lives in.
Yeah.
Can't say the same for Tyler. No.
Let's power through. Let's power through. Not Owie, $2. Cup year.
Oh, fires. That's too bad.
Oh.
Thank you for the $2 donation. Cup year.
Well, I hope everyone's safe.
I hope everyone is safe too. All right, you guys want to talk about goaltending? Let's get into it with the news. Brought to you by Star Mechanical. Star Mechanical is one of Edmonton's biggest locally owned Hold on, where's my bloody ad read? Star Mechanical is one of Edmonton's biggest locally owned and operated plumbing and heating businesses. They have been working within the community for over 20 years, and many of the homes built in Edmonton over the last 2 decades have had their plumbing and heating systems installed by Star Mechanical. You can visit them at starmechanical.ca to schedule an appointment and let them keep your home running smoothly. The big headline today, the one that has people talking. Sebastian Cossa to the Edmonton Oilers. Cam Robinson said on one of our sister shows, Sekeres and Price, you can check them out.
Shout out.
They are looking a little more long-term. I was told they've contacted Detroit. I believe the first person they asked for was Trey Augustine, who is an American goaltender, but that was a non-starter. They have Sebastian Cossa sitting right there, as in Detroit do. Detroit have a ton of goalies. They actually have all the goalies in the NHL, I believe, last time I checked. Obviously, they went out and got John Gibson this offseason. They have Cam Talbot there already. Alex Lyon left, right?
I believe.
Yeah, he must have left. There's no way they went and... Yeah. Here's a goalie depth job. John Gibson, Cam Talbot, Sebastian Cossa, Carter Gylander, former Sherpa Crusader, good Leduc, Alberta boy, Trey Augustine. They also have a few other players as well. Michael Postova and a couple of guys they drafted in the last few years. Sebastian Cossa, obviously the name we're all very familiar with. Former Edmonton Oil King, won the Western Hockey League with the Oil Kings, if I am not mistaken. Yes, they did. In 2022, they won. He had a 46 games, 913 save percentage. Also played a game at the World Juniors that year. Played one game for the Detroit Red Wings last season, 2.62 goals against average, 857, won that game. Had a 911 save percentage in 41 games, 2.45 goals against for the Grand Rapids Griffins as well. He is only 22 years old, 23 in November. Former first-round pick of the Red Wings in 2021. When the Oilers famously wanted to get a goalie named Sebastian Cossa and didn't. Because they picked 22nd, traded down. Ironically, another goalie was taken in the spot where Minnesota traded up to at 20th. Jesper Wallstead, the Oilers took Xavier Bourgault. One step ahead of Wyatt Johnson, Mackie Samoskevich. Damn it. What could have been? If the Oilers want to get Cossa, is it similar, Aaron, to what a Yaroslav Askarov package is going to be? So with Askarov, obviously was with Nashville, requested a trade, which we haven't heard Cossa has requested a trade by any means. But with Askarov, another player called Nolan Burke went the other way along with a third-round pick to San Jose, who had to trade David Edstrom, who was the prospect they got from Vegas in the Thomas Hertl trade, Magnus Krona, who is the goalie the Oilers absolutely annihilated that season, a Swedish goalie. Not really a prospect, I would say. And a conditional first-round pick. I'm not sure what the conditions were, but it ended up being Riker Lee this season from San Jose, from Nashville. Played for Madison in the USHL. Can the Oilers make a trade like that happen? Maybe. I don't know if they would have a prospect. I don't think David Edstrom is anything like too special. He's obviously been tossed around, and Florida, San Jose didn't have much attachment to him. Like I said, he was traded from one team to the next, now off to the next. Hasn't played in North America yet either. Playing in Fallunda in Sweden right now, but did come over and play, 4 games in the American League for Milwaukee, but did not get a point. Had a couple of stints of the World Juniors, decent player. Is Boakey enough? I don't know. Boakey,
I think that's the first
pick?
name that pops into my head that you're gonna.
The other guys are in.
Yeah,
the NHL.
We need them to play. I think that for Askarov, and I see a lot of people in the chat kind of the same thing here, that he had a little bit more pedigree to him. He had played longer in the A. He had some games in the NHL.
Only 2.
Now, yes. I guess that's twice as much more.
Yeah, it is twice. And he had a 943 in both of those
My
games.
thing with these prospect trades, and I'm the pre-post guy, I always feel like I'm so off in what overvaluing, undervaluing our own prospects, so that sometimes I'm surprised by this. Not the best guy. Personally, hand up to try and think this one out, but for me, once again, like if you're going to have to give up a first-round pick and a Boakey and something else, I got to be so certain that Stuart Skinner is, in fact, not the guy. And we're close. We're close to that. It could be there. Who knows? But I am not there yet. So I don't know if I'm fully on board to do that. Then the other aspect I had when I read this news is I was like, oh, the Detroit Red Wings are totally the team to fumble that return back for that player. This is the team. This is the deal. So I don't know. We'll see. I would think less than Askarov.
BBJ said, what's your point? Wolf played one game in the NHL, came back the next year, and almost won the Calder. I actually haven't made my point at all yet. I was just stating he has played one game in the NHL, and I think Gord had a good point to follow it up with. He said, I'm good with the Oilers improving their high-end goaltending depth, but I don't see how that helps them for next season or two. It's either Skinner and or someone proven. Mm-hmm. I like. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Skinner would go back in this trade. It makes no sense for Detroit to even take a Stuart Skinner in this deal. This would be, can he be the backup for the Oilers on a cheaper deal? I know it's not too much cheaper than what Calvin Pickett makes, but it's an ELC. And
the words that were being used was they're trying to widen their scope on goaltending and look long term and a couple steps down the road.
Kosa's got the ceiling to be an unbelievable goalie in the NHL. He's a guy who I think it's fair to say the Oil Kings have struggled to replace since he left. And I know with junior hockey is one thing, but like he's around. We know what it was all about. 8,603. Oh my goodness, $800,063, something like that, is his deal. Oh. He's a good player. I totally messed it up. Just over 800,000.
There we go. I was like $8,000. Let's get this man.
I would take the shot at him. I agree with what you said, Aaron. I don't think it would be quite the same deal as what an Askarov would be, but I think the Oilers would have to give up some kind of conditional first-round pick in a deal, which is fine. They have
that's the start. Like that's
100%. I think it was Isaac in the chat was saying like he doesn't want to give up Bo Akey. Luck, man. You're probably going to have to give up a Bo Akey in this deal, unless, for example, Detroit, and I honestly, Ty Emberson, maybe they turn around and be like, we'll take Ty Emberson. $1.3 million, 25 years old, right-shot defenseman. He's ready to play. Our defense isn't that great. I don't think Ty Emberson improves him that much, but I also don't think Bo Akey's like a lock to be a consistent NHL player either.
I don't want to lose Bo Akey either, but
I mean, wouldn't be sorry.
It's like the value for me. It's like if you don't have a goaltender.
Yeah.
That is much more valuable than your third best defensive prospect who you don't know might hit.
Totally.
That's a sacrificial lamb through and through, but who knows there? I'm not fully... I don't know. I'd have to see some of these deals. I need Bob to tell me what he's thinking the return would be.
Bob did hint at the Oilers might have looked at him as well. Maybe they can get him a little bit cheaper. If he is there, if Detroit, evidently, I would think if they're saying like, no, you cannot have Trey Augustine, that to me says that that's who they believe is going to be their future number one, not Sebastian Cossa. Which is maybe also a reason why you shouldn't take a goalie in the first round of a draft, because I think Trey Augustine was way later. Let me have a quick look at that. But either way.
Goaltending, voodoo.
Trey Augustine was a second-round pick, so not way later, but 41st overall, they were able to snag him there. And obviously, too, the Oilers are looking at someone like Samuel Johansson right now as well, who was, their sixth-round pick and just won a goalie award over in Europe. I don't know. What I would do for this trade, I would give up a first-round pick. I would give up probably a Bo Akey if I had to, and then hope that maybe I can just give up a contract player. I think one thing too that we always forget is, like you said, Aaron, like we always overvalue what trades are. The others got Jake Wallman for Carl Berglund and a first round pick.
The Sharks got Jake Wallman for nothing.
The Sharks got Jake Wallman for nothing. So I'd be fine with Bo Akey going if this was the case. I think Wolf is a good goalie. I think Askarov has been a good goalie. Why can Cossa not come in and do that? Also, too, both those guys were given like 50-plus games to go and play, or 45, whatever it ended up being. Cossa's probably going to get 30, hypothetically, if he was to come to Edmonton. But the year after, maybe it forces the Oilers not to sign Stuart Skinner and to just find someone else to play with Cossa at a cheaper deal. Another angle of this, how young do the Oilers really want to get? To have a rookie goalie, 2 rookie forwards, potentially an inexperienced rookie in Noah Philp as well on the fourth line. Like, you're running into a bit of like, oh, we're I know no one liked it when we were the oldest team in the league, but we don't need to be the youngest team either. Yep. I also believe that the young guys can come in and have big impacts, and those are the high ceiling players, so I'd be fine with it. I just find it very interesting that they're almost going from one extreme to the next in a way.
The pendulum swings back and forth real hard. Gotta find that middle ground somewhere in there. The youth movement. I like that term.
Quickly on Bowiecki, there was a quote from him saying that he wants to make the NHL team this year. I wouldn't read too much into that. I believe everyone who goes to camp probably has the ambition of like, I want to play in the NHL next season. Bowiecki
It'd be shocking if he didn't say that.
Yeah, I think the Oilers, honestly, is a bit unfortunate for them that Bowiecki has signed his ELC. And I don't mean that in the sense of like he shouldn't be a professional player, but that guy would do pretty well in the NCAA for a couple of seasons. I think that is something that the Oilers should start to think about moving forward here with some of these CHL players, especially guys who aren't in the first round. The fact the Islanders, by all accounts, thought about doing it with Matthew Schaefer, the Oilers should think about it down the road. They were in a spot with Akey where it was just, they couldn't do it. He'd already signed. They didn't know this was coming. The Bakersfield Condors signed 4 players yesterday. Do we have the graphic of who they all are?
Yeah, I got a couple of them here.
All right, who we got, Aaron?
First one, Luke Prokop.
Luke Prokop. Obviously, we all know him from the Edmonton Oil Kings. He was on Milwaukee last season. The first openly gay NHL player, a hockey player, I should say. Great to have him in the organization.
His brother,
he's also good.
His brother also played for the Golden Bears.
Yeah.
And was also really good when I was there.
23 years old. 6'5", sorry.
He's a big dude, right?
Yeah. Has struggled at the professional level, especially American League. Had a good year a couple of years ago with the Atlanta Gladiators. What a name. 28 points, 55 games. Never known to be like a huge point getter, even in junior, but just like a guy you could rely upon.
Yep. It's all
23 years old.
Guy you pull for.
Bakersfield gets another defenseman.
Trevor Yannick?
Trevor Yannick. Welcome to the organization.
Do we know anything about him?
Don't know much about him. I know his name's Trevor.
All right, continue to move along. Matt Brown.
Matt Brown. No relation to Mike Brown.
I also don't know much about him.
That's about as far as I can go.
And that guy.
Mats Lindgren. Now, here, I know a little bit about Mats Lindgren.
Bloodline.
The bloodline. His dad played for the Oilers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Let me check how many games. His dad played for the Oilers in 1997, 1998, and 1999. He had a great season in his first year. 25 points, 69 games, 26 points, 82 games, 17 points, 48 games before moving on to the Islanders. His son, Mats Lindgren Jr., I don't think they call him Junior in Sweden.
I'm seeing it's just Mats Lindgren and Mats Lindgren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the second Mats.
That's confusing.
Former 4th-round pick of the Buffalo Sabres, left shot defenseman, 6 foot from North Vancouver, played his junior hockey for the Kamloops Blazers and Red Deer Rebels. However, Mats was before his time, and something we just spoke about. He was committed to the University of Michigan when he was 16 years old, playing his minor hockey at the Burnaby Winter Club, but decided to go and play in the Western Hockey League after going 7th overall to the Kamloops Blazers. Now, during his junior career, solid player, about 40 points a season, pretty consistent guy. This is a guy who would have really, just like we talked about with Bowiecki, would have benefited big time from a couple more seasons playing in the NCAA, especially a program like Michigan. But it wasn't meant to be, and this is why, though, the NCAA rule change is so good now. And I know, like someone who has supported Junior A for a long time, this is still really good because now the best players are going to be able to play at the best level. Every time they step up, guys aren't going to be forced into pro too early now as we kind of move on here a little bit. I think it's a real big positive. I don't know what he can become for the Oilers, to be honest, for Bakersfield, to be honest. I think he can just be a guy. But who knows? He's still fairly young. Maybe he can smash out a 2-way deal for himself one day like Vincent Desharnais did.
Exactly. Who knows, buddy? We've seen random names play for the Edmonton Oilers in strange points before. Who knows? Yeah. We'll see.
Gord said Mats Lindgren was going to be the next big thing. He really was. That was his draft year was the first year I really got into scouting. And it was also the first year, I think Connor Bedard went first overall that year. Sorry, actually Matthew Savoy went first overall that year. Connor Levis was another player who was committed to Michigan and went first round. 2 Kamloops. They took them both.
When you just keep talking about the NCAA hockey, I just keep thinking, I'm like, how can I watch those games next year?
On hockeytv.something.
Yeah,
But
that's
it
how.
is
Gonna have to get the occasional tune in.
mum's the word.
Yeah.
Now, this is an interesting story out of Europe. You guys may remember, and I'll let Aaron read this out, and I'll just explain it a little bit. Former Oilers goaltender, I believe you played at the World Juniors as well, if I'm not mistaken, like fairly highly touted
I thought he was going to be the guy.
I really did too. Olivier Waugh, still playing, 34 years old, has been over in Europe, famously in the, for the Oilers famously, in the Laurent Brossoit trade, which brought Laurent Brossoit and Roman Horak to the Edmonton Oilers, but was also in a trade prior to that, which I didn't know until today. The draft pick the Oilers took him with was from the Minnesota Wild. The pick that the Oilers sent back, Darcy Kemper. Aaron, over to you.
Bang. So he posted this on his Instagram, and it said, "Few have asked what happened last year. How come the season has been miserable in Italy with the team? We were looking forward to move to such a beautiful place. It was a mistake from me to not ask previous players on how it was the previous years." Then he's got some jots here. "Our family got placed in an apartment with huge mold problems that were never fixed. I got a minor knee pain after a player fell on me, but got forced to play with a pain that was getting worse with time. They decided to release me while I was starting rehab on my knee instead of after completion. And then finally, after a buyout agreement came from the team, they never fully paid what we agreed on." Goes on to say he's fortunate to play 10 years in Europe, but this was the only time that he looks back negatively on it. Said he's not going to play this year because he's welcoming his first girl. That's a shitty situation.
Do you know what, too? Like, you look through his numbers in Europe, I'll read them out. I'll try and be quick. This is a save percentage on every team he's played for. He's played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams. 918, 927, 915, 917, 917, 925, 901, 910, 918, 920 goes to Italy, 883, 878. Clearly something went wrong.
Something happened there.
Like,
something got thrown off.
It's not like this guy was just bouncing around being like, oh, I just need to find a home. He's like, nope. He was probably a very wanted goalie over in Europe. And this team in Italy really screwed him over.
And I'm not entirely certain. I haven't totally followed it, but I'm pretty sure the team clapped back.
Yeah.
And now we got a little Twitter beef, media beef going on right now.
But Olivier Waugh put together a pretty solid career for himself after... honestly, people had very high hopes for him, like we said. It actually wasn't even that bad in the American League and the ECHL for the Oilers. A .937 in 3 games one year with Oklahoma. He was pretty solid. It just didn't work out for him to get to the NHL level and push himself up. But yeah, it worked out in Europe until this past couple of years, which is really too bad. Hopefully he can come back after you said he was having a baby.
He's having a baby girl.
Oh, there you go. Congratulations to the Waugh family. Hopefully things can get on the up there and get back on the ice quickly because we still have a decent amount to get to. Helinka Gretzky is going on right now. Canada is absolutely dominating the competition. Smashed Switzerland today, 9-1. You were saying, Aaron, this game was 1-0 after the first period?
Yeah, I believe it was 40 minutes. No, I think it was 40 minutes. It was 1-0, and then I think they scored 8 goals in that third period. Shout out. Shout out to the boys.
Canada's 2-0 right now. Beat Finland yesterday 5-3. Keaton Verhoff is the captain for Canada. 1 goal, 3 points for him.
This was 6 seconds into the period. Okay, no, so it was 0-0 after the first period, and then they scored 8. And then they just kind of poured it on.
Pour it on! 9-1 today, like we said, for Canada. Mathis Preston, I believe he's from BC, had 3 goals today.
Yeah.
In that win. Like you said, they literally... It was 1-0. Wow. After 2 periods, not 1 period.
And then... so it was 1-0 after 2 periods.
After 40 minutes.
And then they scored 8 goals.
Yeah, so here's the goal scorers. Matt Preston, Damian Helinkin. God, they don't make these names easy anymore. That's
bold choice of you to decide to read those names.
Yeah, go check it out. They have a website. I can't read though. I can barely read, period. Okay, so that's our news. There's actually quite a bit of news today, which was nice to see. The other sports report, instead of a tier list today, we're going to go to the other sports report, which is brought to you by Litco Law. When your employers cross the line, Litco Law is here to referee. If you've been fired without cause and pushed out of your job or treated unfairly at work, a good employment lawyer can help you. Call for backup so you can defend your rights and make sure you get what you're owed. Go to litcolaw.com and book your free consult today. What's other sports report? The Elks won a game. They won a game, folks. And they won it in fantastic fashion.
Yeah, they really did.
They really did. Cody Fajardo charged down the field with the boys against his former team, the Montreal Alouettes. Game-winning touchdown. What was it, like 20 seconds left? Less than 20 seconds?
Yeah,
They're back at home this weekend.
Did it on the road, too?
Yeah. Huge win. They've actually played some pretty decent football. They've been a bit unlucky. I've enjoyed watching some Elks ball this season. I'll be going on Friday.
You should also enjoy listening to Elks Nation.
Yeah, go check out Elks Nation with Declan and former Elks defensive lineman, I believe, Eddie Steele.
The biggest arms I've ever seen in person.
But the nicest man.
When he's such a nice dude.
Yeah.
His arms, I keep saying it, the size of my fucking head. Like, it is crazy. Shout out to that guy.
Shout out to that guy. And shout out to the Elks. Hopefully a big win this weekend, too, against the Toronto Argonauts, sorry. Just played the Alouettes. We talked about the Riverhawks already. Big game tonight. But my Bolton Wanderers, the Trotters, 2-0 win over Plymouth Argyle on the weekend with this goal scoring starting off from our captain, Super Owen Tall.
Do you want some
power and header?
I could do some
Yeah,
audio.
let's get some
You
audio
want
on
some
this.
audio here?
Show
I'll
us the
restart.
boys.
Listen to this. I want to go to one of these games. And then they turn into the crowd shots.
What a stadium.
What'd you say, 21,000?
21,000. I've seen many
Wander
a
up.
game there. Wander up. Oh, did you get the other goal by the chance?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Also at the same type thing.
Okay. Hopefully we can see it. I want to see
it's
it.
tough because they work it down the field.
Yeah, but it was a great finish. Will it show the crowd here? Is there volume?
Yeah, I just have it turned down fast.
Turn it up. Oh, I want to hear it.
Yeah, here we go. Look at that mascot. Look at it all.
Lofted the lion. Wait till they get to the crowd.
Okay, and then this was 2-0.
Come on. Well, this was a great goal. It's a shame you can't see the other touch because it was fantastic, but a fantastic finish by Burstow, our loanee from Chelsea. Look at that. 21 years old.
I'm a big fan of your mascot. I don't
Lofty.
Our mascot.
He's named after our greatest player ever, Nat Lofthouse, the Lion of Vienna. If you know, you know.
And the first goal was scored by your captain, I do believe.
Owen Toll. This is our first home game of the season.
Liam, I pressed follow on the Bolton Wanderers today, so let's go.
Did you?
Let's go.
We'll get more highlights of them whilst Tyler's away. They played them.
They
play tomorrow on Wednesday against what team? Guess what team?
That don't set me up for that. I don't know any other League One teams.
No, it's they're in the cup. They play on Wednesday. They play Wednesday.
Wednesday Adams?
They play Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow. Remember, if you've seen Ted Lasso, there's that famous thing. It was like, we play Wednesday on Saturday. He's like, what do you mean?
Yeah, no, that was confusing. No,
big match against Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow.
Will you have a bet for me tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll figure something out for tomorrow.
I want your, this is just you and me here talking. I don't care about the others.
Yeah.
Liam's found a new system that
I've cracked the code.
I'm in.
The code.
I called you Nurse Prophet yesterday. It's not Doctor Prophet, it's Nurse Prophet.
Resident Prophet.
We settled on resident.
We don't talk about Wrexham on this show. Good, thank you. Up the Trotters. Okay, what's trending? Presented by Oodle Noodle. Hope in Every Box. Their charity partner for 2025 is Sports Central. The Hope in Every Box campaign donates 10% of all sales from the featured dish each quarter to help Sports Central refurbish and redistribute gently used sports equipment. This quarter's special box, Hot Thai Box. Delicious.
So good.
Delicious and nutritious. So what's trending? It was hard to miss this yesterday. Taylor Swift is going on new heights to essentially promote her new album.
Yeah.
this might be...
This was all she changed her avatars to, is this.
This is going to be the most listened to podcast ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Until she goes on it again. But I'm going to listen.
I'm going to listen.
I went to Taylor Swift when she was on a Red Tour in Edmonton.
You went?
Ed Sheeran opened.
Dude, I mean, say what you want.
Awesome.
She puts on a great show.
She puts on a great show.
Come on. I also want to give credit. I mentioned it to you because Brett, somehow yesterday.
Yeah, somehow figured it out.
We're sitting here in the office and they tweet out those like special big guest tomorrow, but it's like the black silhouettes. You can't tell who it is. And Brett just turns to me and he keeps tapping it and he's like, that's Taylor Swift. I was like, dude, it's a silhouette. You don't know that that's... I did think it might be a female kind of by the hair. Hours later, I would come to realize that, in fact, Taylor Swift is going to be on New Heights.
Yeah.
Brett, shout out. Game Respect Game. You know the
Game
Swifties.
Respects Game. Mariano Rivera tore his Achilles at the Old Timers game for the Yankees.
This was so brutal to watch. So if you don't know who Mariano Rivera is,
It's like the greatest
GOAT
closer
of
ever.
closer
Yeah.
in baseball. He closed for the Yankees for like 20 years. And he's at the Old Timers game. And he's out in like center field. He's a pitcher. He's also retired.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think a pop flies hit. And he tries to walk in and run in a little bit to get it. Immediately, you can
Tough
see
one.
it. There's no one behind him. And like, it's the classic where they look back like someone tripped him. You're in center field. There's no one around you. Felt really, really bad for him at the Old Timers game. And that's like... It's like arguably top 3 worst one you could have happen to you.
It was brutal.
Especially at that age. Poor guy.
Just coming in hot on the show, but you could listen if you wanted to. Ed Fritz is named the team's video coordinator for the Bakersfield Condors. He replaces Chris Horn, who was promoted to team services manager by the Oilers. So there you go. Congratulations to both those guys. Tommy Fleetwood choked again, but made the Ryder Cup team.
Yeah, right. Which I believe he's a team golfer. He's not a solo golfer, so the Ryder Cup is right up his alley.
All the European players are not solo golfers. They're all European golfers. The European team, on paper, never looks that good.
But they got camaraderie. They got something.
So, on the U.S.
It's like when
team,
Serbia plays basketball.
Totally.
And they know where they all
figure
are
it
on the
out.
court.
So, on the European team, the players already made it. Rory, of course, after a great year, winning the Masters. First, what do they call it? They call it the Grand Slam?
Career Grand Slam.
Career Grand Slam in golf, yeah. Justin Rose, who again, like, doesn't win that much, but he's always around.
He's a good
and
golfer.
again, great at the Ryder Cup. And Tommy Fleetwood, while choking at the FedEx Cup, I believe it was, gained enough points to push himself in the top 3 and lock himself into a Ryder Cup spot. For Team USA, obviously no surprise on the first name, I'll say Scotty Scheffler.
Who?
Second name is a huge surprise, JJ Spawn.
Dude, he's been red out. He won the U.S. Open, right? And now he was in the playoff on the week. Or he won one of them. The Open? Maybe it was the Open.
He won something. I can't remember what it was.
It's the one where he hit the birdie on 18, and it was fucking sick.
He's had a great year.
And he was in the playoff this past weekend against
Justin Rose.
Yeah, Justin Rose. So many golfers trying. Justin Thomas, Justin Rose, J.J. Spawn, Jordan Spieth. There's so many.
So this will all get announced soon. I'm sorry, the other name made it was Xander Schauffele. Yep. Third pick. He won the U.S. Open. You're right. He did win the U.S. Open. Robert McIntyre finished second. Finished second. The Players' Championship lost to Rory and the FedEx this past weekend behind Justin Rose. Lost to a birdie on the 3rd extra hole.
When is the Ryder Cup?
September.
Ooh.
September.
Little birthday present for boards? September 26th to 28th.
I can't wait. I love the Ryder Cup.
Dude, it's the best.
UFC coming up this weekend. Duplessis versus Shimev. I feel always terrible at names, as you guys know. But I wanted to talk about quickly, the UFC has a new partnership with Paramount Plus and CBS, where it sounds like pay-per-view is just going away and you can just have a Paramount Plus account and you'll just get UFC. How great is that? I have Paramount Plus.
I might have to get Paramount Plus.
$7 a month.
And you get South Park.
And you get South Park and The Good Wife.
That's all right. All right, Liam, come on. Those are not in the same vein. Oh, that was the other one I was thinking about tier listing. Is I was going to do sitcoms. I was going to make you tier list sitcoms.
That would be a fun one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that
daily bets?
Yeah, let's work in UFC maybe into the daily bet.
Sure, let's do that. Go over to Bet365. You can bet on any sport over there. Just download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. It's never ordinary at Bet365. MMA. It's not under UFC. It's under MMA on the thing.
Yeah.
Duplessis is Hamzat. Sorry. I knew his first name I could say. I couldn't say his last name. It should be a pretty good card. Yeah, Shimaev, something like that. This will be a good fight. Neither of them have lost in the UFC before. Duplessis is the current champ. It could be a short one. I don't know a lot of the other guys. Jeff Neal, I don't ever like watching that guy fight. Lerone Murphy is a guy I would watch for. He could be a good underdog pick.
Bless me.
Bless you.
Jeez.
But the main event is going to be fantastic. Maybe one of the best ever.
I'm quite excited for that. I have a wedding going on Saturday, so gonna have to be doing the old phone thing while you're going on. Hopefully it doesn't get in the way of my speech. Who knows? But
the UFC did say as well that they do plan on doing the White House
fight
on July 4th next year. Hamzat Chimaev. Thanks, Brad.
That at the White House would be. There would be some fireworks. There would be some extra. They'd go all out for that one.
Yeah, it's what is it? The 250th birthday of the United States, I believe. So, I think that's why they want to do it. Well, it should be interesting. I don't know how it's going to work.
That does make sense.
Yeah, it's going to be fun if it happens.
Yeah,
well, there you go.
Dana, I believe in Dana's ability to pull that off. He did the sphere.
He did the sphere. All right. I think we're good. Brett should have enough clips for today. Should have enough to do. Not much on Thursday if we've talked about today.
I'm tier ranking everything.
We will have Stephen Ellis on Thursday. I want to talk to him about Halinka. Maybe we'll do a tier list. It'll be our last show before Tyler returns, and obviously the hole-in-one challenge coming up on the Monday as well.
And then that'll be my last show for a week or so. I'm not here all of next week.
Okay. Fairly well.
Let's go.
And fairly well to everyone here. Oil up. Woo!